Fields of death, so plentiful in South Ossetia these days. This valley, a few kilometers from the capital Tshinvali, saw some of the fiercest fighting. For many Georgian troops, it became the point of no return. Their bodies are now being readied to be shipped back to Georgia.
Our people built coffins for the Georgian dead and got them ready to be shipped to their homeland. No matter what happens, we're Christians, and the dead need to be buried in a good, traditional way.
In a city running short of coffins, where civilians are burying their dead wrapped in blankets, this is an act of generosity. But showing respect to the dead is one thing, dealing with the living enemy is something else entirely. Hundreds of war prisoners are still believed to be kept on both sides. Their fate is a matter of bargain. At one of the villages not far from Tshinvali, we found a group of South Ossetian soldiers. Staying with them are two Georgian POWs. They were captured with their tank in the midst of Georgia's assault.
We joined and signed contracts recently and didn't expect to do what we did. We're just common soldiers. We had to do what we were ordered to do.
Both signed a contract with the Georgian army less than 2 years ago, and both are now blaming the Georgian president for what happened.
We didn't come to Ossetia because we wanted to. Saakashvili sent us here.
Already after his capture, this prisoner was severely beaten by a South Ossetian man whose house and entire family was destroyed by tank fire. And while the Georgians say they never aimed their barrel at civilians, the state of neighboring villages suggests otherwise. A Georgian artillery unit these prisoners belonged to was stationed here in front of this 15th century church. Some of the traces of Georgian presence still remain. Here are, for example, one of their MREs. There are still some leftovers here. On the menu that day was rice with chicken meat, chicken salsa, meatballs with vegetables, dried apricot and even chocolate. This unit was targeting a village located about 300 meters that way. More than 10 people died as a result of Georgian attacks. The Georgian troops stayed at this location for 2 days, firing at the village from underneath the crosses. Empty ammunition boxes and some of their weaponry are still scattered around. The villagers didn't dare to shoot back at the church.
They put a tank here on top of the hill and started shooting in all directions, at all the buildings.
Here's what left from a local school. A chemistry lab is no more, students' books still lie around. Many houses in the village were obliterated. Most of the local residents fled.
So many people were killed, we don't have enough land space to bury them. 2 of our people were taken prisoners.
The villagers are now hoping for a prisoner swap. The commander of the South Ossetian unit holding the Georgian POWs said the negotiations have already started.
1 Ossetian could be swapped for 10 Georgians, if I'm not mistaken.
These are the trophies South Ossetian captured together with the Georgian tank. Uncle Sam may be far away, but his gifts are all around.